Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm painting roses and I meant to paint them in all shades of red, but somehow they all ended up pink. But I think it's a very nice painting anyway, and I can show you how I paint roses. I start off by painting a background, and I'll put a link in the description on how I paint backgrounds. But basically I used green, yellow and white over the top to make it more misty and subtle. I used raw sienna and a small round brush to just sketch in where my roses were going to be. I always do that. It gives me a guideline. And I paint in my first leaves and at this stage I sometimes put in my leaves as well. And here I'm putting in buds. I don't always do the leaves at this stage. I sometimes do the flowers first and then put in the leaves underneath. But today I put in the leaves as well. To do the leaves, I just turn my brush on its edge and press it flat down. And it gives me the basic leaf shape. And I can pull in the stroke on top of that shape to give me the outer edges of the leaves. I paint quite a lot of leaves. They don't all stay in the foreground. Some of them sort of fade into the background as I add other paint colours over them. I especially paint leaves around the flower because when I pull the petal stroke over that leaf, it makes the petal more transparent. You have to see it to understand what I'm saying, I think. But that works especially well if you're painting in oils. When I'm painting roses, I put in the basic colour of the flower first, in this case a sort of pinkish red. Don't try doing petal strokes at this stage. You're just putting the basic darkest colour on the canvas. And when I've done that, I'll go in afterwards and pull in petal shapes with a slightly lighter colour, to which I've added usually titanium white, sometimes yellow. And in this particular case, this is where my painting went wrong. I put in my reds. I thought they were very pretty. I got what I thought was a basically nice composition. And then I used too much titanium white. And my roses all turned out a pretty uniform pink. So I can't say I'm thrilled with this painting. I don't think it's too bad. I think there's plenty of things I can demonstrate in this painting, but I don't consider it my best rose painting. I've done better, I have to say. I chose the top right flower as the star of my painting, so I'm making it slightly lighter by adding titanium white. I'm not keen on the way I place these roses, but here I'm pulling in the petals. I'm using titanium white. The paint is still wet underneath and it pulls the pink in with it. It's easier to paint roses in oils. I use water mixable oils quite often, and I prefer the roses painted that way. But these aren't too bad. I pull in the large petals first. The petals that you can't see anything but the tops, I use a sideways swipe. And I don't mind overlapping petals, overlapping flowers, as you'll see as I go along. I decided the rose on the top right was the star of the show, and I decided to add some titanium white to the petals to make it that much brighter than the others, to stand out somewhat. And that would have been fine if I'd left it there. But of course I had to add titanium white to some of the others too, and eventually they all turned into the same pale pink, and there was nothing to distinguish them, no star of the show, nothing in shadow, and it all got a little bland and a little blah. So after I'd finished filming, I went in with some brighter colours, and I did take a photograph of it. I'll show you. Here it is, and I'm not sure that the roses are really good, but I think the colours are better. I messed up the petals a little bit, but I think I've got a shadow rose, I've got a star rose, but it might be the one in the middle of the bunch rather than the one on the upper right. And I'm not totally happy with either version, to be absolutely honest. But at least I showed you how to do the petals and the leaves. Pull in the stroke from the outer edge to the center. Try and do a little more color on your stems. I don't think I mentioned that. I usually use several colors on my stems. I add depth to the stems with alizarin crimson. I put a shadow color on and a highlight. So that's at least 3. Usually there are 4 or 5, depending on where on the stem, whether it's in shadow or in highlight. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you can find the time to give me a like, that would be wonderful. And if you can subscribe, that would be even more wonderful. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's already done that. That's so helpful. It helps my channel grow. It helps the algorithm find me. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. I'm not sure with what I'm going to paint, but it'll be something interesting, I hope. Bye for now.